everybody, and welcome to G for G, Games for Gamers. Today we are here with the week in MAA, the week in Marvel Avengers Alliance. And it's really going to be 2 weeks because most of the topics are going to be about 2 weeks old, but there's going to be a lot that specifically came up tonight. So, the elephant in the room is the elephant of war. Let us talk about what is here on the front page. The cybernetic blade is still here. Yes, I still say this is a purchase. The Neurotrope is now available, and the 4 Horsemen set is available. And of course you see this and you're like, oh, are the alts up? No. Not at least as far as I can tell. I have most of them, at least have one person per suit over there. However, I do not have every single suit for every single one of them. I'm missing Scrapper for X-23, Infiltrator for Beast, and Blaster for Rogue, but nobody ever used them. I would never get the Blaster Rogue, really. But, so, before we deal with the Horseman set and the Neurotrope, I want to point something out to you guys. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I do not live in a log cabin in the woods. I do not make bombs. I do not believe that the government is using fluoride to mind control us or poison us in our water. But I am going to put forth a theory to you guys and tell me what you think. I think Playdom releases gear sets because they know something is happening, including even their own fuck-ups. They predict their fuck-ups and they release something that ties into their fuck-up. And I want to point something out. The Demon set has come up twice, 3 times if you count its original Spec Ops, but it was available for 20 less gold a while back, and then it came back recently, slightly higher in price, and guess what? When did this come back, guys? Right before PvP beta, where the agent was the superstar. And if you had a superstar agent using a hotshot, and don't take my word for it, just go look at Kingfisher's videos. Look at what he did this PvP season with the hotshot. Murdering everybody, because he's 300, his hotshot was 300. Thunk! Sometimes triple death, unless survival of the fittest was up. So Demon set gets released slightly before a Playdom fuck-up. And then things were in order for a little while, where the Cosmic set went into the 40th Century Man set, and it went into the Data set, and then it went into the Stark set, and then it went into the Re-engineering set. And then here, around here, things got a little hazy. It bounced around from Demon and Son of Demon and everything, and then it finally came back to the Vindication, which I wanted, because I have this cell, I have the Stalker, I have the Void Generator, but I wanted the Obliterator and the Sonic Blaster. An interesting point, the Obliterator with its follow-up attack came out when Rocket Raccoon was made available to people. Again, little conspiracy theorist there. Not too bad. It's kind of in order. But then the Armory Villain set came out. And I really predicted, okay, well, Dark Defiance set is going to be nice, and I'm waiting for Murder World because I only have the insert coin. Well, then things went really crazy, and they were just like playing bingo over here. It's like whatever ball came out of the chute is what they were going for. And now all of a sudden they've jumped Dark Defiance, they've jumped Murder World, and now they're doing Horsemen. So it's my prediction that maybe the alts of this are gonna get re-released. And honestly, if you have Pestilence Beast but you don't have all the Horsemen set, the Horsemen set does very, very, very well with Pestilence Beast against High Evolutionary. So, I would like the Chess set and the AVX set to come up. The Arc Reactor Charge is a standout. Phoenix Flare is also a standout. The Rook is very effective. And I would like, for completionist purposes, for these to come out, so I can take advantage of the Rook, the Arc Reactor Charge, the Phoenix Flare. Self-Sacrifice might be nice so that I could get Hoarfrost Mace for the Protect and the Res. And I already have the Monstrosity, believe it or not, and also the Barrow Guard is phenomenal. And Roar of the North Roar of the North was used as a killer, but something else I want to point out, the last two items over here. Cosmic Set came out right before the Guardians of the Galaxy Spec Ops, which dealt heavily with the Cosmic buff, Cosmic power. That's what this set deals with. And, you know, the Radiant Cannon was phenomenal. You had the Ray Shield Generator, the GG Prototype, Decisive Ta. This set really could have been worked in very nicely to the Guardians of the Galaxy gear. 40th Century Man, oddly, out of nowhere, was released recently. Look what happened. Kang came out, who uses the Ball-Tack Blaster, basically, and works very well with Time Stream displacement. So, what do we have here? We have the Demon Set right before the Agent being overpowered and the Hotshot being a killer. You have the Cosmic Set right before Guardians of the Galaxy, which used Cosmic Power. You had the Century Man set right before Kang. And now, what is the premise behind the Horsemen set? That's going to be interesting. So, back to the game over here, and let's discuss the set a little bit over here. Is it worth a purchase? Why? What can you do with the set? Well, as we're pulling it up, we all know Playdom has two very big styles you see a lot with sets. A wraps around to D and wraps back. So in other words, item A buffs B, B buffs C, C buffs D, D wraps around and buffs A. That's one way of doing it. The other thing is, how many pieces of the set do you have? It unlocks additional effects. Well, this is the how many pieces do you have? The Neurotrope, quick discussion there. If you like your Rising Up heroes, if you have somebody that you want to have a buff, your Thundras, Star-Lords, Groots, Herculeses, Heimdalls, all of that, yes, you want to run the Neurotrope. If you're fighting the High Evolutionary and not wanting to use debuffs against him, but buffs, you want the Neurotrope. You can get Strengthened, Fortified, Agile, all of those things potentially from it. It's not a guarantee like Heimdall, it's random, but you also get Combat Awareness, and you also get Epiphany. It is buff, so the Mystic can shut it down. And of course, it can be scrolled away or Black is voided away, but the Scroll of Aknazak used right after a Neurotrope is a very, very good thing. And a very effective 1-2 punch, especially with your Rising Up heroes, your finest hour heroes. Can you do things similar to the Neurotrope? Absolutely. There is the Guardian insignia. There is the combat awareness of the gauntlets of Go Early, you know, the Sitrep gauntlet from Guardians of the Galaxy. Epiphany, you can get that from Beast. But this is a very, very neat package, and if you're level 1 or you're Spartan at 300, get it, you never need to reforge it. So if you're level 150 right now, yes, you want to get the Neurotrope. It's been on sale one other time this year, so it does make the rounds somewhat frequently, but it's my suggestion to get this while the getting's good. Especially if you have no other way of duplicating Neurotrope effects. If you have this and it buffs up Heimdall really well, you don't have to waste a turn doing the Bifrost Bridge, the Yallarhorn. Just hit somebody with a Hoe Fund. Just go right on the offense and don't waste the turn. The Horsemen set. So it has a 1, 2, 3, 4 synergy rather than the A to D synergy. Ex Obliv is the star of the set. It is a subtle, it's a stealthy item that I call the Perfume Sprayer. At level 1, it does opportunistic debuffs. There are plenty of people who exploit opportunistic debuffs. Anti-Venom, Ka-Zar, Star-Lord, Hank Pym, Hank McCoy will seal in, Pestilence Beast will seal in the opportunistic debuffs. There's a lot you can do with just the Ex Obliv and nothing else. 2 pieces of the set, you get pressure points. This is your Paragon exploitation. Dizzy, Exposed, Slowed, and Weakened. This is like your Captain Britain, Paragon Exploitation comes off of Fandral. This is, you do see things like that. The Crystal Shiv in the store will give you pressure points also. There are people who do make use of this, but Opportunistic is very popular right now. And Opportunistic tends to shut down classes. You know, off balance on an Infiltrator means they're not going to retaliate. Exhausted on a Tactician means no multiple turns. Impaired on a Blaster means no crit, even a guaranteed crit. Neutralized means no buffs on a Bruiser, no enrage. So that's, of course, a very good thing. 3 pieces, you have Chaos Shot. This is your damage dealer. This is your bleeding, your burning, your chilled, your ISO 8 corruption, poison, anything that takes away at your health. That's Chaos Shot. You can do Chaos Shot items from the Chaos Shot SMG, which is farmable and free. And what's cool about the Chaos Shot is you can put it out and then you can exploit it. And if you have Snappy Service in a tactical suit, you can put it out and exploit it right in the same round. The thing is, Chaos Shot is an attack that can be protected and countered and is not an AoE. Ex Obliv is a stealthy AoE. It affects the entire team. At 4 pieces, you have Nanoplague. Nanoplague comes from Pestilence, Beast on his level 1, and Angel hitting one person or everybody with his A ISO. If you've watched my channel, you know that I use that effectively in PvP between X-Force Archangel and X-Force Psylocke. Psylocke making him stealthy. I have a stealthy AoE Nanoplague. But you can accomplish the same thing with the 4 Seals set. The next big star is the No Mercy. Whereas this was the setup guy, this was the gun, the No Mercy was the bullet. This was the 1-2, this was the knockout punch. The No Mercy is a melee slashing sword. It has a high PvP bonus because it was the gold item. At level 1 it exploits opportunity. So, you have opportunistic heroes that can set these up and the No Mercy can exploit it. You have the Manvatara, which is dropping like crazy from the Kang lockboxes, and I'm going to show you that in just a moment. It also causes pain, which is pretty nice. Not a deal breaker, but nice. Paragon Exploitation at level 2. So right now, with just the Ex Obliv and the No Mercy, you have a 2-to-2 synergy. You can put out 2 debuffs here, opportunistic and pressure points, and you can exploit them both with the No Mercy. At 3, you have Exploit Attrition. So now at 3, this puts out 3, and this exploits 3. And at 4, you have Guaranteed Crit, not Guaranteed Hit. A crit from this thing on a fully Ex Oblived person was disgustingly powerful back in the day. If you saw somebody on defense running an Ex Obliv set, you shit your pants. If you ran it on offense, you kind of knew how the battle was going to go. However, the No Mercy has been nerfed. At least once in its history, because it was super powerful, and when they saw that the Tactician suit was coming, they went, oh god, 2 No Mercies in one round, that's a bad idea. I used to use Nico to enable me to use 2 No Mercies. It was Pestilence Beast and Nico, 2 No Mercies in one round. Or No Mercy and a Memento Mori for the Fatal Blow. The third best item in the set is the Gaunt Caress. This one actually has some standalone applications, even if you're not running the other pieces of the set. This is still widely used in PvP today, and probably the most popular item of the set for longevity. Gaunt Caress is a non-usable item, aka special functionality, like the Cosmic Cardinal. You can slap it on your agent, and he cannot use this on purpose. So, if you're trying to railroad your agent into using certain gears, like the Neurotrope when it's up, the Cube when it's up, and maybe a big weapon, the Gaunt Caress was what you wanted to do. You could further isolate it with running the Cosmic Cardinal, the Gaunt Caress, and then your agent is forced into using 2 items. If you had, say, the Ionic Sledge, you could go Neurotrope and Ionic Sledge. The Neurotrope would buff you, the Ionic Sledge would work off of your buffs, And you can never do anything other but Neurotrope and smack people with your hammer, because Gaunt Caress and Cosmic Cardinal would lock that in. So the Gaunt Caress is good for that. At one piece it does Withered. This is a very, very good thing, and this is why this stands alone today. Famine's Toll does this AoE, but it has a 2-round cooldown, and it's not a counter. So Gauntlet Caress, very nice. Withered is a very, very good thing, especially when it stacks up to 30%. At 2 pieces you have Drain Energy, which reduces stats. At 3 pieces you have Disadvantage, which shuts down that person's class bonus. So a Tactician is exhausting. A Blaster is impaired. A Neutralized goes out on a Bruiser. At 4 pieces you gain the lovely benefit of Absorbing Class. Where else do you get this? Well, the Intelligence set has this if you run the 4 pieces. So that is similar. That is, if you're a Tactician and you get hit with a Bruiser, you are now a Tactician who enrages. If you are a Bruiser who gets hit by a Blaster and you live, you now gain crits, guaranteed crits. So that is a very nice item, and the weakest piece is the Memento Mori. This, unlike the No Mercy, has been buffed. Its damage was ramped up since its release. It's stealthy, which is very nice. At level 1 it does Death Frost. Good for magic people, good for Iceman, good for people who work off of Chilled, that kind of a deal. At 2 pieces it does Doom. This is good for Gamora, who can exploit it, Star-Lord, who can exploit it with the Mise. At 3 pieces you have Despair, which removes and prevents resurrection effects and screws up a lot of healing. And at 4 pieces you have Fatal Blow, which was a stealthy automatic put away if they had low health. So, the set as a whole, as a 4-piece, is very good. Who do you want to run this with? Well, ideally you want to run this mostly with people who can exploit the Ex Oblivion. Your opportunistic deal, your Anti-Venoms, your Star-Lords, your Ka-Zars, your Kangs, Hank McCoy locking it in, Hank Pym exploiting it, Wasp, an all Hanks on deck team of the Oblivion set, and Pestilence, and Ant-Man also is a phenomenal way to go for this. They're tacticians, only infiltrators will bug them, and there's a lot of stealth in the set, so infiltrators aren't too bad. There's a tremendous amount of synergy with even just the level 1 Ex Oblivion. That's why I say this set is a purchase. Is it worth a repurchase? No, it is not. The only thing worth reforging is the No Mercy. That costs 48 gold to reforge this. This is not worth a cheapy reforge. Do not get this set if you're trying to just repurchase them at better levels. The set is largely available if you're level 1 or you're level 300, but just realize your No Mercy will eventually get out of date in about 50 levels or so. And please be warned, the No Mercy has been nerfed once. This is not quite as huge as it used to be, but it's still really nice. So, yes, get the Horsemen set. No, do not get it if you're looking for a massive 4-piece reforge. Yes, get the Neurotrope. So what else do we have going on? Well, we still have High Evolutionary out. If you notice, he's got me up to my highest silver to date, 5.5 million over here. High Evolutionary, of course, the class that you see, understand, do not bring the class that counters what you see on paper. Bring the class that he's going to switch into. And know that he will always pinch the counter. So if you see a blaster, you think, oh, he's a blaster, I'm going to bring tacticians. He'll switch to an infiltrator. If you see a bruiser and think, oh, I'm going to do the Iron Man strategy, I'm going to bring a blaster, he'll switch to a tactician. So understand that, and the best thing to do to continue doing well against him is to bring the class that he counter to what he turns into. Learn the pattern, go that way. I would recommend Iron Man and Iron Fist into the one that turns into the Bruiser. Well, who turns into the Bruiser? That's the Infiltrator. The Infiltrator, you see him, you think, oh, I'm going to bring Scrappers. He switches to a Bruiser. That's where you want to stack your blasters. That's the good Iron Man, Iron Fist Unibeam attacker. What I use for everything else is pretty much Pestilence Beast and Sabretooth, or Pestilence Beast and Anti-Venom. I highly suggest you do not bring Anti-Venom to anybody who's going to have blasters. And if you depower High Evolutionary before he switches, you may actually prevent his switch, which could work against you, so please realize that. But remember what we were speaking about, opportunistic debuffs with the Ex Obliv? I just want to show you something here. Look at this. Look at these Man Vantaras. That is half a page of these green Christmas lights, the green moon on a stick. Look at that. 2, 3, 4, 7 of these things that I popped up. But I did get lucky, and I got a Baltag's Blaster, which is really nice. So, you know, these two items are temporal. They have some synergy with Kang. They do deal opportunistic. Now, this won't trigger protect abilities, and it should get around most avoidances except for reality hacking, but it's not stealthy. So that's the trade-off from the Ex Obliv. Baltag's Blaster, it is temporal. It does time sense, so if somebody gets time stream displacement on them, the Baltag's Blaster will counter. And it does radiation exposure. This is a peppy gun. It is strong, and it has some very nice synergy with tech upgrades and the Rectifier. I often use Baltag's Blaster and the Rectifier when I'm leveling Kang. So that's that. Ka-Zar. Who does Ka-Zar have synergy with now that we've gotten a chance to see him and he's almost level 9? Well, anybody who deals with bleeds, I've run him with Drax. I've run him with X-23. I've run him with Wolverine. So he's good with the bleeders. He also has very good synergy with Shayna, and that's due to the jungle combo. Why I like him with Drax is I can have him single protect Drax. Drax could get his Rage of the Destroyer with Ka-Zar jumping in and protecting him. Ka-Zar is a good Emerald Prism candidate because he defends, and he also, obviously, he counters and he attacks, so he's very good with the Emerald Prism. And you're going to give him your Scrapper ISOs. He will not be getting the Bruiser ISOs, unlike Groot. So you can't give him the, defending equals extra turns 1. His level 9 with opportunistic debuffs is disgustingly overpowered. Look at Kingfisher's videos to watch him with Anti-Venom, and it is a great, great team-up, especially with the Horsemen set. So that's really why you want to get the set, but he would also have some stuff with Star-Lord, because he would get Rising Up, and they would deal with Opportunity. Star-Lord does exploit bleeds here on the Element Gun, and he exploits Opportunity, so, they have some synergy right there. He has some, pretty decent synergy with Groot, although Groot actually is a Paragon exploiter. If we come over here and look at Groot, no items, so, okay, Flash, I guess, is going a little weird over here. So, Groot deals mostly with Paragon exploitation rather than Opportunity, but people can get stacks of bleeding from Groot's level 1, which is good. The rocket pistol in the store is very good with Ka-Zar. And, of course, Kang is giving you stuff that works with him in his lockbox. So, I hope you enjoyed this video on the last 2 weeks in MAA. Hope you enjoyed some of the conspiracy theories a little bit, and some looks at Drax and Ka-Zar and Kang. Hope everybody's doing what they want to do in the Spec Ops and getting what they want. I'm still going for the Savage Axe. So, sorry this video is a little long, but we had a lot to cover in 2 weeks. Take care, everybody. See you soon here on G4G, Games for Gamers.